Hi, I'm Kev and welcome to this week's Draw Along. So this week we are going to be looking at gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is a technique where rather than focusing on anatomy and making sure like a tone and shading and everything is correct, it's looking at the pose a character is doing and focusing on that, solely on that really. When we look at gesture drawing, we just focus on what a character is or a figure is doing. So for example, right now on screen I've got some like dancing poses that a ballerina or dancer, I don't know, would do. So we're going to be looking at that. Gesture drawing is really important when it comes to drawing comics and cartooning in general, because we kind of exaggerate the poses, especially if you're drawing superhero poses or anything in comics really, rather than superheroes. We kind of exaggerate things. A artist that we see who does like big gesture drawing and over exaggerates it immensely is someone like Daniel Warren Johnson. So all artists use this to kind of get across what a character is feeling, what emotions a character is going through, and what their action pose. So we're going to use gesture drawing to kind of have a go at that, and hopefully by the end of it you'll improve your gesture drawing with your figures. It'll give a bit more life and movement to your figures as well. So yeah, gesture drawing. So let's begin. So let me get a model up. This handsome chap is going to be our model today, and we're going to use him as a base for what we are going to draw. So when we start drawing gestures, we focus on something called the line of action, and the line of action is kind of how the body curves around. So for this drawing, for example, let me make sure I got the right pencil. Yes, so this drawing, if you're new to drawing and stuff, you probably just draw kind of a straight figure. I'm going to keep saying he, but I'm standing straight. So this is in this picture. And I got my hands in my pockets. So if you're kind of new to drawing, you wouldn't really draw. You'd kind of draw something along those lines, along that kind of shape. When it comes into gesture drawing, we think of the line of action and how the body is kind of moving and stuff. So for this image, the line of action, so again, before I begin, the line of action is like the way the body curves, which direction the body is going in. If a character is bent over, for example, so let's just draw a character that's bent over. Like so. The line of action is this curve here, the curve of the body. So for this drawing, the line of action kind of goes like this. It's not a straight line because the body isn't straight. My shoulders are here, my hips are here, and most of the weight is on this leg here, by the looks of it. Okay, so when we come to drawing it, we're going to draw that line of action. So we go like this. So we could see there's a slight curve. And then I'll draw in like my head. My shoulders are kind of like that. My hips are doing that. Actually, let's exaggerate it as well a bit, because in comics we exaggerate. In cartoons we exaggerate. So that's doing that. This leg is out here. So this leg here is like that. And we got hands in pockets. And there we go. We have drawn the gesture. So as before, this was kind of just a straight figure, and now we kind of have more of a dynamic figure. Again, it's not a proportional drawing by any means. It's just focusing on the pose. So we got the pose down, like so. And we do this with every pose. So this is just breaking down the figure. Also, with gesture drawing, we don't even need to do this line of action and draw everything out properly. We can just do this line of action, sorry, and then we just focus on so that hip, the shoulders there, that shoulders there, that's like that, that's like that, and we've just focused on kind of like the outline, but the gestures there, you can see that this pose is the same as that pose. And this is just adding movement to things. Nothing worse in comics when you see characters that are kind of like stiff. So always remember when you're looking at your character, your models or whatever you're practicing drawing from, think of the way the body moves. Those shoulders, if the shoulders are going down one way, the hips are usually coming up the other way to meet it. So there's kind of a push and pull. There's a curve. There's curves everywhere. Yeah. So there we go. We did our first gesture. Next up, we're going to do one a little bit more difficult. So again, we're going to focus on the line of action. So for this one, we have me kind of bending over and trying to figure out what's going on, pretending I'm looking at something. There you go. Some Fabergé egg in glass, and I've got to work out how to get it out. Right, so where's the line of action here? This time, there's a curve going this way. So we can see where I'm bent over, and yeah, that's it. So my apologies, I've done the line of action wrong. It's like this. So we're gonna, again, rather than just sitting there and just going and working out how everything's posing, we're gonna draw a real quick sketch following this line of action. So it's like a slight S. There we go. And yes, so there's the head. There's the head. There's the shoulders. This is going back like this. So that's that leg there. This is this leg here. Bent forward, and there's the arm. And there's the other arm. So there's the gesture. The gesture's drawn. Very quick drawing. Again. And again, this isn't about having refined drawings. This is just about the shape. And then when you get better at it and stuff, you can go back into it. Or once you've outlined it, you can go in and fix it. So you can just go. And there we go, we fixed the image. But we still got that gesture. There we go. So, that gesture's drawn. And we'll do it with two more images. Let's do it with this one. So we're a little bit more crazy. Maybe a bit more superhero-like. We have this gesture here, and this time the line of action is kind of going like this. So we'll draw that line of action.
And then we'll add in things like, so there's the shoulders, there's the hips there. So that's the leg. There's the other leg like that. The torso is kind of going like this. The head is here. This arm is up like that, and that hand's out like that. And this arm is further back.
There we go, and there's the gesture. So as you can see, these aren't refined drawings, but these are just getting ready for these poses. And this will help again, like when you go into drawing your comics, and say you've got to draw a character flying, and you just think, all right, so there we go. Superman's got to be flying here. So we get that leg there, then there's that, and there's that arm up there, and this arm can be here like this. And there we go, Superman's kind of soaring up in the sky. And we quickly, now we know how to kind of gesture draw and where the line of action is. We know that we can make a kind of good, cool pose just with this line. So finally, we'll do one more pose. And it's going to be, this time, a little bit of a pose where we're looking at something. The character, the figure you're drawing is looking at something. So again, our line of action. And let's exaggerate this one a bit more. So I'm going to go and exaggerate it. So we're going to have a head down like this. And kind of the torso is going up like this. So that's that leg there. This leg here. So also this line of action is not the spine. It's not the character's spine. It could be, it's just the way the body's positioned. So there we go. There's an over-exaggerated version of this. Obviously, in the actual picture, I'm kind of leaning forward, but we've over-exaggerated it now. So, say there's somewhat being held. And this over-exaggeration, again, helps give movement and life to characters. And we could go in, obviously, and refine that. So quickly, whilst I speed this up, talk about the curve, the line of action in this picture, in this pose, being close to the spine, but it's not quite the spine. As you can see, it doesn't line up with the hip. So there we go. Quickly flash on the screen where I put where the spine would be. But yeah, that's where the spine is close to being the spine in this picture, but not exactly. Okay, bye bye. So there we go, that's added a bit more life to that drawing. I've kind of changed the pose up a bit, and we could do it a bit more realistically. So there we go, we've changed it up again. I quite like this pose, where I've thrusted that hip right forward instead. This one is a bit more real to what's going on here. So, but you can see that S shape. You can see that's kind of going. You can see it's going like that. So actually, it's kind of got a bit more of a wiggly line. Actually, that's kind of a bit more like it, yeah. But yeah, that's gesture drawing. Gesture drawing is just focusing on that pose, that gesture. So yeah, I hope this video has been helpful. It's a bit disjointed, I think, today. If you have got something from it, please let me know. That'll be really good to hear. But yeah, play around with it. Go on Pinterest, get some poses, and kind of start over-exaggerating and focus on the pose that the character is doing. Don't just look at doing the pose exactly. Think of that over-exaggeration as well. Think of, like, you got your curve. There you go. Think of it, this, and over-exaggerating it. Yeah, that's been the video for today. Again, I hope you kind of got something from it. But yeah, gesture drawing, fun little exercises to kind of get yourself changing up poses and stuff of your characters. Hi, this is Editing Kev, just popping in at the end of the video to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.